Sean Puffy Combs, from the white power structure perspective, is guilty of committing celebrity crimes while no longer being relevant to the white power structure. One thing we know about racism and black celebrities, when you are no longer a benefit to us, we no longer provide you with the protection you need to operate above the law. That went for Michael Jackson, that went for Prince, that went for Whitney Houston, that went for, it goes for all the celebrities, Bill Cosby, R. Kelly, now Sean Puffy Combs. This is why when LeBron James retires from the NBA, he's going to have to be more careful. You have to be more careful when you're no longer the man. You have to be more careful when you're no longer on top, because when you are no longer of earning potential for us, when we can no longer flip a quick dollar off you, we send you back to the plantation to be with the rest of the Negroes. You're no longer special. Get out the house, go back to the plantation. And when you back on that plantation with the rest of Black America, you will be treated and viewed just like the rest of Black America. Puffy might be shot. Bill Cosby may have been shot. R. Kelly may have been shot. How dare you do this to me? Look at what I've done for you. I've remade hip hop for you. It doesn't matter, Puff Daddy. You ain't had a hit in years. You ain't been musically relevant to the white power structure in years. Puffy should have been more careful about his behavior, although none of us, including me, would ever condone or excuse domestic abuse. When you no longer matter to them, they no longer matter to you.
And speaking of Whitney Houston, you feel like she was killed, right?
Yes, yes. Whitney Houston was murdered because she was no longer of value to the music company that owned her. Whitney Houston wanted her masters, she wanted her publishing, she wanted an audit on her money, and she was not going to get it. Here's the question that got to be asked. You're at the Los Angeles Hilton, I believe. That's a 5-star hotel. There's cameras on every floor. Whoever went into Whitney Houston's hotel room to take her life, it's on camera. Who had the power to make them confiscate that Whitney Houston murder video showing the murderers entering the room? It had to be somebody with a lot of power. I believe it was somebody from Whitney Houston's label. And I believe that somebody allowed the Grammy party to continue while Whitney Houston's body was upstairs dead and floating in the tub. Whitney Houston was murdered. Michael Jackson was murdered because he was no longer of value to his company. He owned half of the Beatles catalog. He did not plan on selling it. The reason he was going to go on tour was to make enough money to satisfy the debt that his music company put him into, and he was put into that debt with his Invincible album. They sabotaged the Invincible album on purpose, putting Michael Jackson into debt so he'd have to give them back the Beatles catalog. Owning the Beatles catalog basically made Michael Jackson 50% owner of that music company, and they hated him for it. How dare you manipulate your way with your economic genius, Michael Jackson? With your economic genius, how dare you manipulate your way into 50% ownership of the most powerful music company in the world? They murdered Michael Jackson. He should have never come back to the LA Staples Center to practice for those concerts. He was living with his brother in Dubai. He should have stayed his ass in the Middle East. Michael Jackson is my all-time favorite recording artist. Tupac Shakur is my all-time favorite rapper. Whitney Houston is my all-time favorite female vocalist. And all three were murdered by the music industry with complicity from the white power structure and the FBI. And on that Michael Jackson note, did you just see how his so-called son, the white boy Prince Michael, is not willing to give Mother Jackson, Michael Jackson's mother, needs some money, and Michael Jackson's fake Caucasian son won't give his black grandmother any of his so-called father's money. That's happening right
You
now.
for real?
Yes, the white boy won't give his Michael Jackson's mother no money. They in court right now. And this is why we got to
You
stop
can't be
the bunny.
serious, man.
Yes. Yes.
That's disgusting,
It's
man.
crazy. How you ain't going to take care of that man's mother? How you ain't going to take care of that man's mother? But I'm going to go to Vanessa Bryant. Same offense. No disrespect to Vanessa Bryant, Kobe's widow. But Kobe's mother and father just sold his NBA championship ring. They just sold it. Why? Because they need capital to live. They're elders. They need some money. From what I've heard, Vanessa Bryant ain't giving them a dime. Kobe Bryant left her almost $1 billion, and you mean to tell me that you don't have enough decency, enough respect to float Kobe Bryant's mother and father $1 million? Even if it's one time, Art. Even if it's one time. I don't really like y'all. I don't really mess with y'all. Y'all son told me not to be bothered with y'all, but because you are his parents, because he would have never existed without you, because if y'all don't give birth to Kobe Bryant, he never becomes my husband. I'm never in this financial position. Because of that, let me give you $1 million. Let me throw him $5 million. I'm not giving you no more, but I'm going to give you $5 million, but you can't come back again. Can we agree on that? Can we sign a non-disclosure? I'm going to give you this $5 million, but y'all can't come back. Fine. Give us the $5 million. She won't even throw them $1, bro. And then people get upset with me for being against interracial marriage. Listen, I'm not against white women. I'm not against red women, brown women, or yellow women. I am against the transfer of wealth out of the black community to white people who have taken enough from black America. Why are we marrying Asian women? Why are we giving our wealth to them? Why are we marrying white women? Why are we giving our wealth to them? We don't have enough as it is to rebuild black America. And you out here marrying women who you know going to take you to the cleaners when you no longer a celebrity, when you no longer got any money. Look at Michael Strahan. I just read an article the other day that Michael Strahan's white ex-wife, who already received $16 million, I believe was the amount, in the divorce settlement, plus a certain monthly allotment, she said that's not enough. She wants more money. And then I read some time back that RG3, the former NFL quarterback, he married a snow bunny, divorced her. She took a sizable chunk of his wealth. She wants more money. Tiger Woods' girlfriend sued him last year for putting her out the house, and she was not even his wife. What are we doing? What are we doing? When you are no longer making that money, these white women leave you, and they're going to take as much as they can get on their way out the door. But compare that to what black women get. Did you see what happened when Robert De Niro divorced the black woman? She did not get half his money. Robert De Niro's ex-black wife did not get half of his money. You know what the courts gave her? $1 million a year. You're going to get $1 million a year until you get married. The minute you get married, you will no longer collect from your ex-husband. We don't benefit from interracial marriage. And here's my question, Art. If white people love us so much, if they got all this love for black people, why is the bedroom the only place they can show it? Why is behind closed doors the only time we see the love that white America professes for us? Why we don't see it in the classroom with our children? Why we don't see it in the courtroom where we're being sentenced to twice the amount of time in prison for the same offense as white people? Why we don't see it in the banks when we're looking for business loans and home loans? Why we don't see it in society where we're being murdered indiscriminately by white mass killers and white police? If white people love black people so much, why don't we see it anywhere else beyond the bedroom? We ain't nothing but a fetish. We ain't nothing but a pet. We ain't nothing but something for white folks to have a little bit of fun with. And when they done with you, they drop your ass off and take everything you got. It's not worth it. But we can't stop because the low self-esteem of black men, dictates that we get a white woman in order to feel better about ourselves and more equal to the white man.